Hello, hopefully we're live. It says I'm live anyway. We'll see how we get on. Let me know if you're with me and if I'm live and how the sound is and things like that. Hopefully all is good. I feel a bit like I'm unprepared for this. I suddenly realised there weren't 2 entries in the sort of voting section, so I was rushing around doing that. So hopefully everything's working. Let me know if you're with me and, like I say, if the sound's okay and everything like that. Okay, so we've got the competitions up here. I'll go to the very front whilst I'm waiting for people to arrive. I think this is the first one, isn't it? Yeah, so we are here. Well, how do I get rid of that? Oh well, can't get rid of that. Ah, there we go. Hello everybody. Red Dragon, Felix, Rich, something like that. Yes, there was a competition about mythology. Don't worry if you missed it. There's another one for the next month. The audio is really low. Now I know what that is. Hold on 1 second. I will go in and sort that. That's the one thing. I knew there was something that I've forgotten to do. Actually, no, it's okay. Should be fine. What is this all about? There's a competition every month on the Discord server, and this week's competition was mythology. I'm surprised. Let anybody else say my audio's too low. It should be okay. I've got the gain and the compressor on. Let me know. And it says it's doing fine. So it's your headphones, is it? Diego, I think it is. No problems. Click the X on the top right. There we go. That helps. There's this as well. How do I get rid of that? That's good, isn't it? Cool. Finally managed to make another live stream. God, it's been ages since the last one, hasn't it? When was it? So the links to the Discord server are in the description. The links to the voting as well. Thanks to Luna Lotus for setting up the Google form. You can go across to that as well, and all going well. It will work much better than last time. Last time was a bit of a catastrophe, actually, because I don't know. It just didn't go well. Now click on the other X on the top. Yeah, but if I click on the other X, that will close my window. Surely, is that bad or is that good? Is that will it not close my window? Today you got new monitor and everything looks so small. Everything looks so small. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, shall we begin? Everybody with us? Who's going to be with us? We'll see. Today I got a new monitor and everything looks so small. Well, you should have gone for a bigger monitor. Game Bacardi. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? What size monitor do people have? I've got a 28-inch and a 22-inch and a 16-inch. That's the Mobile Studio Pro that I use. But the resolution's higher at least, isn't it? So that's not such a bad thing. It's one of those sort of HD, 4K monitors, even though they're not, 4K, even though they never are quite 4K. Anyway, hopefully that my internet won't cut out. I have had problems again. I thought they were all fixed, but it's not, and that's really annoying. And apparently, it never will be. So that's why I'm trying to do my live streams a little bit earlier. Then it's less likely that I'll cut out because less people will be on the internet. So it's probably most likely going to be between 4 and 6. I'm just trying not to hit Blender today, sort of overlap with them. So hello to you all. There's lots of people on. So hello, Lewis and Christoph, Diego. I said Tom. 43-inch. I'm old. Anyway, let's start. So we'll start with Belidos. Is that how you pronounce your name? Now, he criticised me in the last stream, saying I should get my hair cut, and I think that's a bit upsetting for me because I'm quite happy with how my hair looks. So I don't know whether I should include him even in the competition. So this is the idea that the G-spot is a myth. Aha, genius stuff. I think the enough said about that, the better. Like the idea, well done, Bilidos 3D, and you got lots of fun comments, feedback, whatever it is. Anyway, Jaj, 1984. Hello, first finished project. I call it Atlantis. Been learning Blender since Christmas, following Grant's tutorials. That's great to hear. I hear he's the best tutorial maker, actually. So well done for that. You've chosen the right person there. Nice looking piece, actually. I was joking, by the way. Nice looking piece here. Really loads going on. You've got your sculpting going on with this mesh here. I like your overlay as well. That's nice. It gives it that sort of watery feel. The lighting's cool. Composition's pretty good. Composition, a little bit of blank space up here, and maybe we could have cut the scene off about here. But minor things. In fact, yeah, about there. I said maybe. The lighting is all sort of down this way as well, so maybe we can bring the camera down a bit. But I think this is a fantastic for just learning Blender. Soul Skinner is actually a myth, is it? It is. Anyway, so well done to Jaj 1984. I'm trying to be a bit quicker because I don't want to go on for hours with these streams because people will certainly get bored, won't they? Surely. Maybe you just people want it for 5 hours, 10 hours. Tell me how long you'd like these streams to be. Unfortunately, this time Cerberus was not permitted to live. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Poor Cerberus. This is quite a cool piece, though, isn't it? Sorry, I forgot the name. Felix. Yes, Felix. Really looking cool there. I'm very impressed. I like the model, and I like the textures actually. I feel like there's too much of a curve in the step. I know that's a really minor thing. Oh, mate, no, it's just the lighting. The lighting's kind of weird in the steps. That's probably Eevee, actually. That's what Eevee's like sometimes. It does weird things with the shadows in corners sometimes. I think there's some sort of clipping thing. I can't remember what it is. But it's pretty compressed, unfortunately, through my screen. But you can look at these in full on the Discord server, and you can go to the voting thing and see them. Maybe if you've got two monitors, you could have me on one and the other screen, doing all that sort of stuff. Anyway, right. So yeah, I like this sort of glow to these. Is that sort of Fresnel glow or something? That's pretty cool though. I like the blood splatter, and I like the helmet as well. All looking pretty good. Yeah, nice work. Good job. Dracon. I don't know what that is. Yggdrasil from Norse mythology. I don't know. I feel like I ought to have looked that up before I did the stream, but I didn't quite get time. I'm just checking them are all okay and not cutting out anywhere. Steps are really curved. They weren't curved. They felt really curved, and it's not even a criticism. They just looked out of place. But I think that was just the lighting. I'm just seeing what people have said. I have 3 monitors. You lucky thing. Gnias McLevin. Yeah, we've already prepared votes. Voting is in the description. I've got a little ticker tape thing going on underneath me, haven't I? So it says voting link in the description. Yeah, I'm way ahead of it. The Tree of Life, is that what it is? Ah, I see, okay. World Tree, Celtic mythology, gotcha. I feel like this isn't zoomed in enough. I'm going to go open the original on this one so we can see it a bit easier. Nice work. I like the texture painting. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It feels a touch blocky, so maybe it could have possibly gone not so low poly because it has a blocky feel. And it's really, really well done. I like the different layers and the tree top. It looks cool. I would have gone possibly a bit higher poly on these. Just because, does it need to look low poly is my question. Sometimes there's a style where you want things to look really low poly, but I feel like there's lots of detail in here, so it's not low poly, if you see what I mean. In fact, I was talking about that today in a thing I was doing about where should you start, low poly. But Polygon Runway, who's very good at low poly work, his top tip is to keep the consistent level consistent. So in a way, it doesn't have to be low poly, this piece. But if it is low poly, you want to keep that consistency across the whole model. I would say. The only other thing as well, it looks a little bit flat, so a bit more contrast, maybe something happening with some light direction, because we've got no real shadow to make areas pull forward and other areas backwards. Nice piece though, I like this one. So well done, Dracon, whatever your name is. Des, this looks good. First time entry, want to get serious about 3D this year, I like it. So this time is my first own composition illustration in 3D as well. Haven't yet figured out how to leave low poly land. That's still okay. You slowly build up. It's weird how that's coming up a lot. Did some post-processing with Photoshop, which looks good. Hope that's okay. Depth of field. Yep, no, it's good to post-process. And it's something that everybody should start getting used to with their work. Thinking about those final bits. Often people make a model and they want to show it off as quickly as possible, so they spend about 10 minutes. Oh, that about works, and then they post it. But it's those last 10 minutes that should be one of the longest things you do, because it can make or break a model in terms of the lighting and the composition and the framing and the post-processing possibly. I like the particles, yep. Just didn't manage to generate them as I wanted to be. Hope you like it. Feedback very much appreciated. Yes, Minotaurus from Greek mythology. Yeah, it looks really cool. I like it. It's a nice composition. I think you've laid out the scene nicely, because we've got foreground elements, background elements, but we keep this sort of tight. It was a sort of, I want to say maze, but it's not a maze. Labyrinth, that's the word, isn't it? And the lighting coming from down here, shining upwards. There's a lot of thought gone into this, and that's what I like to see. And don't worry if you're worried that you're still in low poly land, as you call it, because you're still these are the quite hard things to develop, and it still, looks like a good piece, even if it is low poly, which isn't a bad thing. So I think maybe my favourite so far. Really liking this one. And it's down mainly to the composition, how it's all nice and full. The only thing is, I don't really like the bricks at the back. With bricks, especially with low poly, you only have to sort of make a few to make the wall look like a brick wall. So look at sort of cartoons of drawn houses. They don't draw every brick. They draw about 3 bricks, and then 3 bricks over here, just to sort of give the illusion that it's a brick wall. You'll see what I mean if you look it up. Otherwise, it just takes loads and loads of effort. Nice work though, Des. Good job. Yasin. Oh, I've lost the stream. Where are we? I'm just seeing what people are saying. It's not Celtic. There's an argument about which mythology it's from. Yeah, it's all very interesting. I'm just having a look. Low poly is tasty. Yeah, I quite like low poly as well. And the maze is the same as the labyrinth. I don't know, a labyrinth, you sort of get puzzles in as well. I don't know, maybe they are the same thing. I just got a feeling that labyrinth sounds more elaborate in some way. Well, that's true, yeah. How to get out of low poly land, more polygons and add textures. That's exactly it, yeah. Very, very true. You could even go low poly and then hand painted, or the other way, which is just take your low poly work and then start sculpting on it, sort of thing. Either direction, really. It's not Celtic, it's vegan. Oh no, vegan's coming up. Shush, we mustn't mention that. I like low poly land too, yeah, definitely. Well, just join the Discord number. There is almost 7,000 people on there. That's quite weird, isn't it? It's pretty cool, that. Nice, well done, Discord people. And I should say thank you to all my admin who do a fantastic job, because I've got so much on in different places that I can't keep an eye on the Discord very much. I'd obviously check it regularly, but the admin are doing all these different things and adding channels and all sorts, so good job to them. Thanks very much. Anyway, let's go on to Yasin. I tried many times to make a golem, but they all ended up as a robot. The first one looks like this is the first one that looks like a golem. I'm happy. That's cool, isn't it? Yep, that's nice. I like what you've done. They keep coming out very small on my screen, don't they? Yeah, hopefully the resolution's okay. And like I say, you can look at the competition voting thread if you want to see more detail. Yep, I like what you've done. There's a few sort of seams, or sharp areas, sharp edges, which can be really jarring. I mean, this is certainly a seam as well, so try and hide your seams on the other side that we're not going to see. So when you're unwrapping objects and things. But I think it's really cool. I like the bushes, and I like your little fireflies going around the place. Sometimes it's good to have a bit of variation to the shape and the size, although there is actually. This one's a bit bigger. Oh no, it might just be closer to the camera. And they don't all have to be an emission as well. So you could have more fireflies in there that are much smaller and emissive material, but they don't have to. Actually, no. What am I talking about? Scrub what I just said there, because I'm just thinking that's not in cycles. That's in Eevee, isn't they glowing? No, but it's a very nice piece. This. I'm just thinking that in the shadows they possibly need to be darker. So maybe think maybe a brighter light that's smaller. So if it's an area light, make it smaller and brighter, and then you get harder shadows, and that could make it look even more intense. I like it. Excellent. Oh, and also be careful not to go too bright on your emission, because the reds become pink. So rather have a glow instead of an emission, if that makes sense. Now there's a bit, yeah. It's hard to describe that because there's loads of problems with that, isn't there? That's my understanding. Yeah, don't worry. Blah blah blah. Carry on. Anyway, so well done, Yasin. Good work. I'm slowing down a bit. I need to speed up. I wanted some more texture. Enter did send the post. What? Not sure that I'm in. At least the image has a heading. Above is my entry. I see. Yep. Okay. So this is Odysseus and the Sirens. Oh, I see. So you've sort of done it as a what's it piece? A museum piece. Very interesting. That's nice, actually. I like what you've done there. And now, is this? Yeah. So the background looks like it might be a picture. And then you put this in front because the depth of field looks slightly off because it doesn't fade out here and then it suddenly goes blurry. So you have to watch out for that. So try and match your depth of field to your object. You've spent loads of time on this. This is great. But then the display case, I feel like lets it down just a touch because the texture here, for example, looks a little bit odd. And just these areas around here. This is quite nice little details here, and your information booklet thing there looks pretty cool, but this texture just lets it down slightly. We could even cut off here. We don't really need all this area down here, and that would probably help it. A little bit sharp on the lights. They just seem really sharp, and then we go blurry here, so it looks a little bit jarring. So hopefully that makes sense. So watching your depth of field, trying to match it up with the background. Nice work. I like that one. So Martin B, well done. So I think we have, what do we do? Oh, what's this? There's Google Drive. Let's have a look at how this is going to work out for us. Hold on a second. Right now, I'm just thinking I'm going to have to mute, aren't I? Because we don't want any copyright strikes and all that sort of stuff, do we? Wow, it's all happening here. This is quite something, isn't it? So dancing, Minotaur and Centaur, or whatever they're called, aren't they? And I like your background as well. It's quite fun, actually, isn't it? Actually, this looks like it's all modelled as well. So, God, there's lots going on there. Definitely. Let's watch it once more. I like the flag. The flag's pretty cool, really, isn't it? Nice. I feel like the shadows are a tiny bit off. But that, again, is probably Eevee. Because you have to kind of render animations in Eevee unless you've got an amazing computer. And maybe a bit more of a bump on some of the areas. I'm being a bit harsh, actually, because it's more about the characters, isn't it? And they look really cool. I like that. Nice tree as well in the background there. Yeah, it's pretty cool, aren't they? Some weird stuff going on there. Nice work. There's a lot of effort gone into that one. That's pretty awesome. Nicely done, Akinaro. So it didn't have... it's the time it takes to render, isn't it, often? I'm losing my stream and seeing what people are saying. Just seeing if Baby Center... no, not too late, of course. Raoul Frux. You can never be too late. Unless you hit exactly on the end. 100% model, yes, that's right. It does look a little bit creepy, to be fair. But I suppose how non-creepy can a baby Minotaur and Centaur look? Oh, I see. So slapped a horse's body onto... I see. God, that's quite a clever way of doing it. So taking old work that you've done and updating it. Cool stuff. So this is another one from Bilidos. I thought your G-spot was where it's at, and that was going to be it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to read the captions. First ever attempt at proper lighting. Good. That's what we need, and that's what you need more of, I would say. Hello, yes, sir. Nice to see you there. Too late to join this competition. Yes. Oh, is that what you meant? Yes, we are. The deadline was yesterday. Polly Bloom, will you check out my portfolio later, Grant? Have I? I thought I'd already checked your portfolio. Maybe not. Send me a link in Discord if I forgot. My apologies. Let me send it again, please. Remind me. I'm quite busy, so sometimes I see things on my phone and don't get to check them out properly because it doesn't really work very well on my phone. It's quite an old phone. Okay, so what have we got? First attempt at proper lighting and composition, focused on game assets normally, so don't need to worry about lighting composition. Very true. Yeah, it's nice to do some scenes though, isn't it? That's good fun. Oh, there, thanks very much. Shane Pilcher. Yeah, that's very good of you. It still always surprises me. It's keep at it. Yes, indeed. And there's a person doing some weights there on the stream. Loving it. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. It all really massively helps at keeping this channel going and doing weird competitions and stuff like this. Okay, yeah, good work with the lighting. Sometimes it's good to have lights in the scene, sometimes not. I think this one would be good if they were coming from behind the trees, personally. Unless this is supposed to be moonlight, then perhaps make the moon sort of bigger in the sky and it would have been more imposing in some way. But I like the fact that you've gone for backlight because backlight is key. It's one of the most important lights to making things just look cool. It's always in music videos, they're always using backlighting and moving lights as well in the background in music videos as well, but it just looks cool. So yeah, really nice. I feel like the generally dark things come towards us and light things are in the distance. I would have thought this should be darker, so I'm confused slightly about the flatness of the image. There's not a lot of depth. That's the only thing that lets it down a little bit. Maybe you could have just added a vignette in there and it might have helped slightly. But I love the model, looking cool. Well done to Belidos 3D, Belidos, however you pronounce it. Nice work. Moonus more. Yes, that's the problem, isn't it? When you're looking at these streams, you're trying to move your own mouse pointer and it's actually on the screen. I do that all the time. Okay, so hi everybody, or everyone I should say. This is Horus, an ancient Egypt god of the sky. It's my first attempt at sculpting following Grant's tutorials. Yes, like I say, he's a fantastic chap, isn't he? Does some amazing tutorials. The human body, body of a human, head of a chicken? Eagle, but mine looked like a chicken. It's quite tricky that, isn't it? It's like when you're trying to do a model of a person's head and it looks nothing like them. It might look like a great head model, but it looks nothing like the person. It's one of the hardest things to do. To get shape and form roughly right is it doesn't take too long, but to get it precisely right, very tough. This is a great little sculpt as well, so well done on this one. And yep, so I suppose the next level of detail is the next stage to go. But perhaps we sort of have some dents in here, maybe sort of feather, little bits of detail would be quite fun. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. I was just about to middle mouse button to rotate around it then. I like this. It's a good model. And next is sort of showing it off with some lighting and things. So look at some lighting tutorials. That's a really good one from Abbitt Media, where he talks about how to make your renders look good. Look that up on his channel. He's just fantastic, this guy. Thank you, Lolando. Nice work. Lolando. How many have we got left? Masses and masses. So I'm trying to be a bit quicker, but I just end up slowing down, don't I? And having a chat. That's what I'm always doing. Are you coming to the Blender conference this year? Not the one in Las Vegas. It's just too far for me to go, really, and too expensive. There is one in London, apparently, which I've said I'll probably go to. And I might do maybe some sort of talk there or something. It'll be quite fun. Is that Hades Bident? Ah, has he got a Bident? I thought you had a Trident. It's quite cool, this model, though. I like this. This sort of screwed round thing here. That's pretty cool. Marble, of course. These are Greek gods and all that sort of stuff. It's quite fun, this. I feel like it needs a bit more texture to push it to the next level. It's very sort of smooth plasticky at the moment, but I quite like the lighting that you've tried to light it in 3 different angles and that sort of thing. It's very hard to show off long, thin objects because how do you frame them is always a really difficult one. But nice work there from Rico. Cap Awesome. Surma is a character in Finnish folklore of Kalevala. Surma is a terrible beast, embodies sudden violent death, and guards the gates of Tunola to prevent escape. Often described as being a large dog with a snake tail and can turn people into stone with a stare, much like Medusa then. Anyway, cool stuff. That's pretty cool. Yep, I particularly like the head. I think that's pretty cool, isn't it? I would have liked to have seen this from a few angles, actually, because this sort of sideways on, it's difficult to make out the features, but it's still very good. And it's important to compose it, but directly side on is, I don't know, you lose a lot of shape. Sometimes works, but I feel like just maybe at an angle here, and I would have liked to have seen maybe a cut off here and a bit more of the model just to see what it's like, and just for reference for us to talk about. I like what you've done though. The lighting's good, interesting textures, and yeah, the model's pretty decent actually. The colours seem to clash a bit for me. This sort of deep red, I say deep, it's sort of a darkish red, and then we've got green and blue. And I feel like you need to lose one or the other of the green or the blue. So either have it all blue in the background or all green. In my opinion, anyway. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Poseidon is the one with the trident. Ah, right, I see, gotcha. I learn a lot doing these. Yeah, 3/4 is a good angle. That's what I was thinking of, maybe a 3/4 angle. I'm trying to do it on the screen here, but you can't really see much. You just see my wonderful haircut, Bolidos, which I haven't got a haircut, obviously. Anyway, I was commenting at the beginning because he said I need to get a haircut in one of his comments on my videos. Anyway, Felix with another one, second entry. Had fun making this, The Wanderer, collecting souls on the field of battle. This looks interesting. Ooh, that's quite interesting. So a bit of combination of 2D and 3D, and it's worked quite nicely. You've got the depth with this one, very good, because there's darker in the foreground, a bit lighter, and then sort of mist as it goes away. These are quite fun. The crows looking pretty interesting, and there's a nice lot of sort of movement to these pictures. I like the tree as well. Yeah, this is quite an interesting piece. I like it. I like what we've done here. Sort of 3D elements mixed with 2D, but you've matched up the lighting quite well and thought about the glow on the edge there. The black and white looks quite good. I think that's very effective. Well done. Again, Felix. Akinara. Now, I saw this one earlier, and I like this one a lot. Here's my 2D entry this time proper one. No dancing babies. I was inspired by... Oh, I'm just having a look. Oh, sorry, I thought I went down there. Inspired by the poster of the Troll Hunter movie. Yeah, that's right, yeah. It does look a lot like that, doesn't it? Sculpting Troll took me like hour or less. That's very impressive for a less than an hour. I also didn't focus too much on texturing it. Main point was arrange the scene. Look, similar poster. And then did you do a paint over them? Because where did I say 2D entry? Oh, second entry. Oh, that's me just reading it wrong. Sorry. Used trees that already had. Yep. Hairs on the troll. Oh, it's tough, isn't it? To do hair. I need to get into that more because I think it's getting better to do those things in Blender, especially now we've got Eevee and things that renders faster. So it would be fun to get into these things more. I think that's pretty cool, and I'm not noticing any issues with the hairs. I think they look great. I suppose the trees are a little rough, but you get the sense and scale, and that's always something quite difficult to do, get that sense of scale, but obviously having reference images in there like a car, because if it was just going over the mountain and there was a road there, you might not immediately think it's a big, huge, massive creature. But when there's a car in the scene, it comes home, and I like these bent lampposts. It's just a really cool scene. I love it. Yep, great fun, and that's very good for under an hour. Really nice work. And sometimes you don't have to be that detailed. You can just sort of, well, that does seem pretty detailed. I mean, you've got some nice details around the place, but especially if you're going to add hair onto it, it doesn't have to be really detailed, and you can then texture paint to add that detail. Really cool stuff there. I like it. What are other people saying? I suppose that's an interesting question. Political puppet theatre. How long are you giving yourselves? It's because this is just a friendly competition. Some people might look at it as a chance to just have a little bit of a practice and give themselves half an hour. Other people really want to make a portfolio piece. So, I suppose they're more likely to win because they put more time in. But that's the point of the competition, is just to get inspiration, chat to other people about what you're doing, and have fun and improve. So it's not really about winning. I would say Akinaro, you're looking like one of the pop favourites for me anyway at the moment. But it is a what's it vote, a community vote this time, which is going to work this time. Yeah, the copied trees together are a little obvious. They're twisting them around maybe. I felt like they just needed a bit more. I don't know. There was something about the textures in between the flat planes. It's tricky to say. I mean, really minor point, really, isn't it? Because the trees are a very small part of what we're looking at. I like the snow as well in it. It's good. Anyway, Fovamp. Thor is strength personified. His battle chariot is drawn by 2 goats, and his hammer. I didn't know that. Hammer causes the lightning that flashes across the sky. Of all the deities, Thor is the most barbarian of the lot, rugged, powerful, and lives by his own rules. God, this is a bit of a quote there, isn't it? So this is quite fun, actually. I like the style. I really like the base. I'm not as keen on the clouds, and it's got a weird sort of texture and lighting over the top of it, which hasn't quite worked for me. But I love the idea. I love the boat. That's really cool, and I love the water. I love the fact that this is a sort of diorama, cutaway island thingy-jiggy. But it's just the top of the clouds because we've got a big focus here. It's very light and bright, so it does draw our eye. And when we look at it as just a thumbnail like that, it's quite confusing. And I didn't see the boat at first because I have a quick sort of look through these, scan through, see what people are doing. But when I went in and I see this beautiful boat here, I feel like it's not highlighted enough. So using this as your main light and having this all dark would have been better, I think. And then we could have lit up this area a bit more, and maybe not even a light too much in the background. Didn't mean to do that. Hopefully I'm making sense. So drawing the eye into this area more. I like your use of colour though, the purple, but we could do with a glow there. I think would look great. Some nice work there though, Fevamp. I feel like just a few minor touches and that could be a really great piece, in my opinion. Thor's shadow is on the cloud. Is that the thinking, is it? Oh, yeah. Sorry, do you know, that was really thick of me, wasn't it? I often embarrass myself on live streams. I do my best to make an idiot of myself. So Thor's shadow. Anyway, about that, I still feel like it's not working for me, even though I get where you're coming from. But yeah, I think getting rid of that and... then how would it be mythology? Okay, I'll concede to that. But it doesn't quite work as a piece for me when the light is concentrated there. I hope I'm making sense anyway. Well done, Fovamp. Anyway, nice work. Dropped Beat. I'm new here, and this is my first entry. Welcome, Dropped Beat. Here's a cute little guy I made for the Mythology competition. Seeing what people are saying. So, Soul Skinner, thank you. You just noticed it as well. What's the miniature landscape cut style called? Lots of people call them dioramas. Yep. And what's the next challenge about? Any thoughts for the next challenge? Then let me know. Or start thinking about them, and then I'll ask everybody at the end, and then maybe we'll come up with an idea for the next challenge. And the challenges are always sort of like the last Sunday of the month. Excuse me, gone all burpy again. I keep doing this on live streams. It must be that I'm talking too much or something. There we go. It's gone now. Right, sorry. The drop beat. Yes, there we go. I like this piece of work. That's really good. And for your first time into the competition, a wonderful piece. I feel like really minor point, but the background is again an afterthought and doesn't quite make the character pop. Maybe a backlight, a stronger backlight in these areas here, just can push out the character a bit more. And it's a tiny bit flat, so getting the lighting right, a really strong backlight. Maybe we could have had a much darker background, possibly, and then a light from the side here and a fill light from this side. But yeah, stronger with your fill light. I'm sorry, with your lighting, and lower on the background, perhaps. But the model itself is fantastic, isn't it? Lots of effort gone into this, lots of details, good muscular structure, good understanding of anatomy, looking good all round there. Drop beat. I feel like it's let down a bit though by the way you've rendered it. Just needs to pop a bit more. There needs to. There is a backlight there, so you understand about lighting, but I think just stronger, more vibrant, and maybe a stronger key light as well. Maybe not even a fill light or really low fill light, but the background just seems to be interfering for me. Minor point, but it makes a big difference to how, because this is a great model, it needs to be shown off that bit better. We could have seen a close up of the head and things as well, because it looks a very decent model, doesn't it? A hard surface challenge, perhaps. Yeah, it would go with the thing. Sorry, it's back to the competition titles we're thinking there. But yeah, it would go with the sort of the hard surface modelling that I'm doing with the exercises at the moment on my channel, if you didn't know. Train engine. Hello, Adnan Edits. Nice to see you here. Alan Snowden. Hey Grant, found your channel back in 2015 when I was doing media production in college. Yes, that's how I started my channel. And now your Blender tutorials are helping me at uni. That's good to hear. That's quite funny really, isn't it? That is a long time ago, isn't it? And I was teaching media studies back then, so I thought I'd do some media. And they're still on there. Still teaching a few people media. And every now and again the exam time comes around and I get a comment saying, thanks very much, you helped me through my exams. Anyway, Emily the Tank Girl resubmitted it. Looks creepier now. I didn't see the first submission. It's Mayari, the Philippine moon deity. She and her brother both wanted to rule night and day. Maybe I have heard this one. Her brother knocked her eye out with a bamboo stick. Nasty. But it turned out okay. He ruled the day while she ruled the night. Because her eye is gone, the moon is dimmer than the sun. Very interesting. Interesting mythology that we're all learning about at the moment. Nice work. You've certainly got some skill with your artwork. Very, very good. There's often an issue. I always have this issue as well when I'm drawing, which is getting that depth in my pieces. And there's a sort of a battle going on with the background for our attention. So thinking about the light bits, and obviously you kind of want sparkle and pizzazz in the background, the stars and everything, which looks quite good, but they really overtake our character a bit. So maybe drawing in a bit of a backlight, a bluey glow or something, and having these a little bit dimmer might help us. More shadows in crevices would be good, but you've certainly got some skill with your artwork. So that I would look up some tutorials on how to get depth in your painting, how to work with colours for shadows as well. That would be the next stage, in my opinion. It's really cool, though. Very impressive. I'm just having a look at the stream. I'm just looking at the timing. Yeah, we're 40 minutes. I'm trying to go a bit quicker because, but I've slowed down actually, haven't I? I've slowed down because I know that sort of Blender Today comes on at about 5 o'clock, I think, doesn't it? It might be even 4 o'clock, so I haven't got long. And people might want to watch that as well. That is, we are a clash with that, perhaps. Where are we going? Thanks, Melly, for your 15 trying to learn Blender with my tutorials. Lovely stuff. Yeah, that's true. Akinaro paint with layers, then blur the background. That would make sense as well with that piece. That would be a good one. Yep. Anyway, let's move on. Marcus Nyman, perhaps. Got carried by a bit. The theme isn't very obvious. Let's have a look. So it looks like a... I was going to say no. In fact, I don't know what the theme is. It looks pretty cool, though. I quite like this style, this sort of almost paper cutout style. It's quite vibrant. And the composition's pretty cool. We probably don't need all this space here, so maybe moving these items this way a bit and cutting it off there would give the rule of thirds a bit more sort of prominence in the scene, then move this across a bit. But I like it. I like the colours you've used, the vibrancy in it. This is quite fun, this is. And I like the whale as well. Yeah, just a bit in terms of composition. Maybe a bit in lighting as well, because it's very dull in the background. So just it needs a sparkle from somewhere. So maybe make these duller and make this a little bit brighter in your use of colour, perhaps. Are we thinking Noah? Is it Noah? No, perhaps. Whale, whale, whale? Is that a mythological creature? I'm not sure. There's Moby Dick as well as a mythological creature. There's a whale. But there's a white whale, I think, wasn't it? Can you make a 3D game tutorial? Or can't do that? I can't make a game personally. I've worked with other people to make games, made assets for them, but I've not made a game myself. It would be fun to do though. One day that might happen. Spider-Man. Okay, so well done, Marcus Nyman. Barante, or Barantai probably, isn't it? Sorry. I just had to try a monitor. Monitor? A monitor. When it's mythology. Yeah, I would agree. You've got to do Minotaur. I should have just said that was the theme, because it'd be even better. Lighting composition. But yeah, that's often the case, isn't it? We work so hard on the model itself that we sort of haven't got time for the composition. I think it's pretty good composition though. You've thought about the rule of thirds, and it's set out nicely, and you've got things in the background, you've got some blur, so that's not bad. But yeah, just the lighting. So maybe a bit more of a backlight and a bit harsher shadows, so a stronger key light, lower fill light, or take the background light away or down a bit. Hopefully I'm making sense with all these things. Nice work. Yeah. Mine, just looking at the muscle structure here, it's a bit too bulky just there. I'm looking at, see if I can see on the screen. So just looking at anatomy of the neck region, neck and shoulder region, have a closer look, because this should probably come out a bit more there, in a bit more there, and flatter here, so the chest comes out. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. I mean, these are again minor points there. It's cool. Moby Dick got held for review. Oh, I've lost that. That's weird. I'm at work right now trying to fix a boiler. Well, you should be doing 3D. It's just there's no competition, is there? You shouldn't be fixing boilers. You should be doing 3D work. Don't need people fixing boilers. We need more 3D artists out there. Carry on with your work. I don't know how you're even watching any of this. Okay, so I cannot pronounce that at all. I'm going to say Ekatafnal. Moon, ancient Egyptian goddess, the keeper of time. So glad we have mythology competition. Mythology competition. I like it. And it's a good idea to put your name on your piece of work. It's just sensible, isn't it? Make a 3D boiler. That's the way, isn't it? Anyway, hello, Soul Skinner. Oh, well, that's weird. I've already said hello. Hello, Imre Fakate. There we go. That's who you were saying hello to, wasn't it, Soul Skinner? I thought you were saying hello to me again. Anyway, back to this. So this is pretty cool, isn't it? Good model, nicely put together, and it's good composition. That sort of 3/4 that we were talking about, going on 3/4 like that. So nicely composed. I feel like the texturing is the next stage to push it that bit further, because it's all a bit flat again. Thinking about the lighting, you've got a rim light which is good, but maybe stronger in the rim light. That's a key of today's learning, isn't it? Stronger rim backlights, rim lights, and maybe a bit more texture in the cloth. We could use the new cloth brush in Blender 2.83, would be exciting as well. So a few things to think about there, and a tiny bit of anatomy as well. The forearm shouldn't bulge up a bit there; it should come down there. But I reckon that's when you posed it. So when you pose your model, go back and just sculpt it a little bit to fix those weight paint issues. Nice work, Ekaterina. Is that right? Cool. Yep. So nice work there. Sneko. First entry, Valhalla of Norse mythology. Cool. Where the Vikings... Is it Vikings get to die? Yes, it is. It's looking cool. It's a tiny bit blocky. I like your depth of field. That's quite fun, but it makes it look miniature. You have to be a bit careful with depth of field, because really big objects, you wouldn't get much depth of field. And when it's very light as well, you can't have the aperture on the camera that low, so you don't have depth of field so much. But it's a nice model, and I like your sort of island there with the rocky texture and the sculpt. That's quite cool, that is. Excuse me. I feel like there's bit more detail needed in the main model. I think that would benefit. And our bump map is a little bit too extreme in places, I think. Just a touch. But that's really cool. I like the composition, though. Nice. Well done, Snake. I'm trying to speed up a little bit. Need to do that. Zephyr. Here's an abstract version of Atlas. And that's quite cool, actually, isn't it? Yeah, let's have a look at the side view here. Oh, it's taking a while to load. This is quite interesting. Yeah, I like it. That's an interesting take on it, and I like your ideas there. Because I'm coughing, Grant has corona. Excellent. I don't think it's quite hit us here in Ipswich yet, but who knows? It could get everywhere, couldn't it? Let's not get distracted by that. This is a great idea. Good pose, good model. It's a bit distorted around first 3D environment piece. A runic stone depicting Naglfar, a boat made entirely from the fingernails and toenails of the dead during the events of Ragnarok. Naglfar is foretold to sail to ferrying hordes that will do battle with the gods. There we go. Can I slightly increase my mic volume? Okay, I can slightly. Okay, I'll just for you, Adam, edits. I'm gonna move the mic volume up very slightly. I'll move it up on here. Hopefully that's not going to cause any distortion. Let me know if that causes any distortion for anybody. I can actually bring the gain up really slightly in my filters as well. I'll just quickly do that. So there's the gain, very slightly, and hopefully that's enough. How are we doing now? Oh, did the stream die temporarily? Are we back? Oh dear, interesting stuff. I've just gone on from this. I didn't see that my stream died. Sorry about that. So I've just been talking about the Zephyrs. Do we see that? Sounds good. Excellent. And now we're on to Dinkers, and we're talking about the runic stone. Hopefully that's all good. Sound is nice today. Yeah, I've got a new piece of equipment that boosts my sound. It's quite cool. So, what's it called? A cloud lifter. Thanks to all those that donate, and I'm able to get a cloud lifter and this microphone as well. So it's I think we're pretty much there with the sound. Just that it needs a tweak here and there. That's interesting. I paused for 5 seconds. I think because I've got a new router, my internet is still dropping out every now and again, but it picks up quickly because of the new router, so that's quite good. Have I? That's good. There's no hiss. Bass boost. Is it too bassy? Yes, a boat of toe and fingernails. Isn't that delightful? Dinka, obviously, morbid personality. This is really cool, actually. So, first 3D environment piece. Let's get a quite closer look on this one, I think, because it's an impressive piece and it needs a closer look. So, nice details, nice lighting. Look how the lighting makes a huge difference. And we could have even gone further. We could have had this as a stronger light and this a little bit darker. Maybe a vignette would have been quite nice here. Just these because these are a bit too bright. These twiglet bits of grass here, just a touch. But it's a really nice piece, this, isn't it? It does look a touch too flat, and that's why I say just to up the contrast with this light and then dark around here. But those streams of light coming through, that's where it's at, isn't it? So nice piece there, good textures as well. But if you look at the models, they're not overly complicated, they're not overly detailed, but there's just enough. And look at the way the light's hitting that detail there. And that's quite a clever thing, isn't it? Not just having the light coming across, hitting maybe the back of a shoulder or something like that, but an actual detail that highlights this tiny bit of growth there. Genius. One of my favourites, actually, because of the compositional elements. Really nice. Well done. So well done to Dinka. I don't know, is that pronouncing your name right? Lots of people like that as well. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, look at this fun one here as well. From Platiros. I'm just having a look at my stream. It's all going okay. Yes, that would be quite good, wouldn't it? Some dust particles. Yes, that would have been quite nice as well. So it could be YouTube. Yeah, I didn't notice the dropout actually, so it could be YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, Platiros, I think it is. Sorry, Midgard Serpent from Norse mythology. This is quite fun, isn't it? Look at this creature. There's something about those sort of creatures that I just find really good fun. I keep hitting my hand on the table. Sorry if it's making my camera wobble and things. But that sort of snake creature, that sort of swirling under and over the water, I just find really great fun. It sort of reminds me of Loch Ness Monster type images and stuff. Look at how the tail goes off in the distance. That's cool. It's great fun. Really makes this creature look massively huge. Loving it. Love the little Viking ship as well. That's great fun. Viking? Did I say Viking? It's something like that. Norse mythology. There we go. So that's good. I've just up the detail level of the head. I think this is all fine because we don't focus on that, but we focus on the head. I like the way you've done the clouds, and it focuses our eyes on this area here. Look at the thumbnail, everybody. The thumbnail looks good, doesn't it? Because of that light and where our eyes are drawn. So that's quite clever. I feel like the boat is a bit bright, but I can see why you've brightened it up to sort of be a focus as well, an important point. It's a danger noodle. Yes, the Loch Ness monster, isn't it? That's Loch Ness, definitely. From Red Dragon there. Yeah, I like this piece. I really do. I just feel like it just needs a touch more detail in this area because we're so focused on it. Maybe more getting a texture brush and adding in some scales or something might be quite cool. Excellent. Loving it. I left this in because I don't know what I was doing here. Very amusing. And it got 3 question marks. Grant, what was going on there? So sorry about that. It just felt like I needed to explain myself when I was scanning through this earlier. Thought, why have I posted that? And I was obviously writing very amusing to someone, and then maybe on my mobile or something, and it did something weird. Anyway, it wasn't me just saying I'm very amusing. Not sure what I was up to there. Philippe Le Pilot, Valkyrie. Interesting. I've not. Yeah. Okay. Body modelled with make human, then slightly modified to make her more sexy. Hairs are particles. Okay, so let's have a look. This is an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, so that's a good idea. Start off with a base mesh and then concentrate on the details. So get your models, things like that from make human. That's a good plan. What I do find is the textures of make human are all wrong for me. I just find them like that. So having to do your own texturing, I think, is worth doing. A Valkyrie. So I like all the details. The armor's pretty interesting, isn't it? The hair looks really decent, actually. Let's go a bit closer because I think we need to go a bit closer to see the hair. Oh, look at that. That's quite cool, isn't it? I probably should have zoomed in on the other ones. Do you see what I mean about the texture of the make human models? They look really flat. Subsurface scattering might help, actually. But yeah, it's some cool work gone into this. It's good to see as well you're going in different directions with your work as well. You've been doing lots of different things, and your skills are improving in different areas. And that is to work at things you haven't done before. Work at your weaknesses, I always say, and then you become a more rounded artist. And this certainly has some real good qualities about it. I think texturing, maybe even texture painting, but thinking about PBR-based textures next with some different roughness and so forth would be the next step. But I mean, it's very time consuming as well, isn't it? So that's cool. Okay, well done, Philippe. Nora, this was an interesting one as well, wasn't it? Since myths don't have to be Greek and weren't specific to be ancient, I put up my work on the father of the modern myth of the vampire, Dracula's castle. Yeah, there we go. Yep, makes a lot of sense. And this from Nora, and I like this. It's good fun, isn't it? I feel like we have to move in and get a bit closer to this one as well. There we go. So it looks very grainy. So was it rendered in cycles, I suppose? Maybe using the denoise. But sometimes a grain adds a bit of character to things, so that can work as well. So just having a look at the stream. Yeah, the protective strip looked a bit in Philippe's model. The only thing I feel like lets this down, the lighting is almost there. I like that you've lit some of the windows, and we've got some interesting colours coming from the windows as well. I think that works in this case. I wouldn't usually go for that. I'd usually say keep them the same colour, but it's kind of fun. This is kind of interesting area down here, and our eyes are drawn to it. But this is our main focus, and the moon is very sharp, but the background has a sort of mist to it, so it looks a bit too like this castle has a halo instead of a a moon in the background. It just looks a little bit odd there. So having a glow to the moon that isn't so sharp and a fade in, maybe you need some depth of field there, just a tiny bit of depth of field, and put this way in the distance so it goes all glowy. Would be a good idea. But the model is really cool, and I love this. And what I like as well is the thumbnail. It looks quite cool, doesn't it? It's quite important to, if you look at, zoom out, that's what artists often do with their work when they're working in Photoshop or whatever it is, zoom right out of their image to see what it looks like small. Well, usually they start off with thumbnails, to be honest, so if the thumbnail works, it's going to work, so if that makes sense. But zoom out of your picture and think, is this working from a distance? If it's working from a distance, it'll probably work close up. Just have a quick look at how many more we've got to go. Quite a few, so I'm gonna speed through a bit quicker, I think. Okay, cool, there's millions. Okay, so let's have a quick look from Barter. Erlik, god of the underworld from Turkic. Oh, I've got to go full screen here. That's quite interesting camera movement there. It's almost... That's quite strange. That's some unusual camera movement. I would have kept it just as a still, personally. I can see why you're zooming out from the eye and stuff. Usually we zoom in to sort of pull our focus in, but I'm going to pause it there because I want to see this. This is quite cool, isn't it? I like what you've done there. I'm assuming that's a sculpt. This is a great image here. Keep with that. It didn't need the video, in my opinion, anyway. This is an interesting sort of throne, fascinating stuff. Good colours. I'm trying to speed up a bit, so I should move on. But I like this piece, and I feel like this should have been the piece, not the video. It probably unnecessary to do a video. It's good fun, I suppose, isn't it? But yeah, keep with the still piece. Looks good. Huion Kamvas, a simple low poly render, an Excalibur, but this time guarded by the magic from a sakura tree. Let's have a look. Oh, it's gone over to the other screen. That's quite good fun, isn't it? I can see, now this makes sense to be an animation because we've got the water and the tree, but it could have probably been an animated GIF because, to sort of see it on YouTube, you have to sort of keep repeating and stuff. And then you can use it on Instagram and stuff. They get more followers. I don't know why I'm sort of mentioning it. You could have done a sort of circular movement of the camera as well if you are going to go for the whole YouTube video. We can't really see Excalibur very well from the angle that we're at either. It's sort of, I feel like it should go across that way. It's a good fun piece though. I like the colour combination. I think that's a really good, strong aspect of this. But we've got a few areas where there's hardly anything happening, but it's really light. So watch out for light areas with nothing happening because our eyes are drawn to it, and they should be drawn to the interesting bits in a sense. Areas where nothing's happening is fine, but you just have to sort of watch out for that a little bit. Nice work though. And again, the thumbnail works nicely, doesn't it? So that's good. Add and edits. Sorry, I haven't seen what people are saying and stuff. A low poly campfire blender in Blender 2.8. Yeah. In fact, I think I've got one. It is a bit hand painted. It's one of my Atlas Empires videos. I do sort of fires. If you just look at the thumbnails, you should see the fire on there, and I talk about it, I think. Anyway, add and edit. So we got rough entry this time. Not had enough time. So we got mythology. I suppose there is a fair few myths around the pyramids and so forth. So I like this. It's a good piece, isn't it? And it's nice composition. I feel like the pyramids let it down slightly because the pyramids don't really go in and out again, do they? They're more blocks and up in sort of step format. I love these camels. They're really good fun. I suppose maybe you did the camels and then I thought, I could go with the mythology theme, so we'll do the pyramids. Because the pyramids, in a sense, are the mythological aspect, but the camels are the cool bit. So a bit more work on the pyramids. But I love these long shadows. That's really cool. So well done, admin edits. Nice work there. K9 Delta. Okay, second entry. I've deleted the first. Zeus. Yep. So Blender Live is starting around now, so I can understand if lots of you want to nip off to that. It's well worth a watch. If you haven't seen Blender Live, not Blender Live, Blender Today is what I was meant to say. And I'll try and speed up a bit because people want to see the results. So we'll go through the next ones fairly quick. Nice piece here. Some good stuff going on. Interesting model. Work on the anatomy next, perhaps, and think about maybe adding some glow to your thunder and lightning. That's pretty cool stuff. K9 Delta, well done. And then we've got Fovamp, second entry. Doesn't need much explaining. Yes, it's sort of like the Leviathan thing going on here. It's good fun, this one. I like your lighting with the sun. That looks cool. That's that sort of glow that I was talking about. I love how it goes across the waves. That's pretty cool. Maybe just adding a bit more detail. And again, look at the thumbnail and think maybe the ship needs to be sort of bigger in the scene about here. That would look good. Red Elixir. What have we got here then? Medusa. Nice. Reading the story of Medusa. That's what you recommend. That's quite cool, isn't it? Yep. That's good fun. I think maybe a bit shiny on some of the textures, and maybe we need a bit of subsurface scattering on the face. Good sculpted model though. Doing well with that. That's nice. Possibly a little bit big around the temple here and small in the chin. Possibly. It might just be the angle though. I like your backlight as well. All this rim light on the snakes. Just a little bit shiny for me. That's the only thing. That's cool stuff though. And just having a quick look. Thanks for the camels. Zach One Attack. So Guardian of the Netherrealm crops. This is interesting. The Hades Underworld. The crops of the Hades Underworld. This is interesting, this one. Let's have a quick look. Oh, this is fun. Very uniform, but maybe that's what you were going for. Ooh, interesting ending. I'm not sure why we got Simon Cowell in front of me as well. This is an interesting piece, definitely. I find it a little bit distracting. I suppose when it's moving, it's quite good, but as a still, it doesn't quite work. So, I don't know, am I being sort of hypercritical? I find the uniformity a bit off. So maybe working on 3 or 4, and then putting them in an array but rotating them around once you've sort of applied the array modifier, that sort of thing. So thinking about those sort of things. And then we zoom into this sort of interesting, well, it looks a bit like a scarecrow, an interesting sculpt here. Maybe a bit more light on that so we can fully see it and appreciate it. Nice work. So well done, Zach One Attack. Good job. Timoleon. Don't really have high hopes for this. Want to submit something. That's the way, isn't it? Doesn't matter if it's if you've been trying things out and you've come up with something at least. That's the fun of it, isn't it? And it's when we're experimenting with different things like grass or whatever it might be. It takes a lot of play, a lot of rendering time, so it's quite tough to come up with something. But I like this one. It's just merging it into the background. You've done quite well. So this is obviously a picture or HDRI in the background, but it's just that blur. There's a line there. And it needs to be a tiny bit more, maybe. It's a tough one, though. It's tough one getting that right. Tough one getting grass right in general. It's a really tough thing to do. Especially when you're this close to it, because you see those minor details of the first few. Tough going. But good work. Griff, who I've been sort of chatting to a fair bit. Sorry, I missed the message. Gwilt G? I don't know what that is. Dog of Darkness, okay. Welsh, that's because it's Welsh mythology. And that's quite cool, good fun. I like the posture in the dog. Although its neck is like this, where it should be up like that, I think. So looking at some reference images of howling dogs, perhaps. But I like the style, I like the colours as well. So 2 strong, dominant colours. The green and the blue work well together. And the green glowing from this area and then the blue from this area. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I like that piece. I like the moss on the rocks as well. I feel like this area is just a bit blank, but I mean, we tend to run out of time with these things. But nice work, good one, that. Daffa Hicks, Egyptian Tomb. This is quite a fun one, isn't it? And I feel like we are reaching the end, so I've sped up a little bit. Radioactive dog, indeed. From Soul Skinner there. I'm just having a look. Yeah, I'm sorry. if I'm only sort of showing them through this, it's just a much easier way to, and if you look closer, the originals are much better in terms of quality, and it is compressed and things, but it is just a nice quick way to show them. Remember that you can vote for your favourite in the link in the description, and you can see all of them in their full detail if you want to have a closer look. I like this one. Sorry, this is from Duffer Hicks. The Egyptian tomb. Yeah, this is quite fun, isn't it? And actually, let's look at the thumbnail. The thumbnail works, doesn't it? So we know it's going to be a nice piece when we look a bit closer. So look at your thumbnails, what I'm trying to say. I like all the... It's got that sort of polygon runway feel, actually, with the lighting and the reflections and stuff. And it's lit really nicely. We've got a few items of detail as well to help sort of focus the eye and add interest. There might be a bit too many of them. Yeah, I don't know, probably being overly critical there. Often do those sort of things when I'm, but yeah, there's, just having a look, that sort of cube looks a little bit unusual. There's sort of few big sort of cubes that are beveled, and then there's sharp edges here. Yeah, minor points really. I like this piece. I think it's good fun. A good combination of colours there, a nice colour palette. That's worth thinking about in your pieces as well, colour palettes. Yeah, definitely. Alejandro Bosch. Here is Heimdall, the watchman of the gods, holding up his horn, Gjallarhorn, announcing the Ragnarok. Sadly, I didn't make it to the retopology and texture him. It's a lot to do in one session, isn't it? But this is really cool. I like this a lot. I think you've done really well. A great character, tough with the hands looking like they're really holding on to things, but it still looks it's really, really nice. I like the texture of this as well. Rock obviously needs a bit more bump, but that's put in an afterthought because the character's really cool. It's very difficult to get rid of this sort of lumpiness in things like the belt area, and I've noticed that actually doing the belt afterwards and as a separate model is usually better, in my opinion anyway. It's nice to just sort of keep sculpting, isn't it? But that's what I would say about that one. Frank, are we going to look at Frank's? Because it is in late. Look, it's 30 minutes past deadline. Oh, I don't know whether we should even be looking at it. Is Frank here? He said he wasn't going to be able to make it, so I don't think he is. Just having a look at what people are saying. Yeah, it's a really good sculpt, that, wasn't it? Okay, so let's have a look at Frank's. What was he saying? Late entry, ran out of time sort of thing, wasn't it? Rush the snake a bit, which turned out total crap, he says. Hope you like it. Yeah, it's... let's look at the thumbnail, and the thumbnail looks confusing. So the direction of the light is possibly a little bit off, and the background's a little bit off. I like... he was showing me pictures of the pirate ship as it was going, and it was looking really cool, but I feel like it's just rushed at that end. Good idea having it on the cant like this, which is sort of on the wonk, if you haven't heard the term on the cant. But yeah, it's just missing something. Maybe we need a bit more brightness coming from this area here so we can look at the face. And weirdly, it took me a while to figure out that these were eyes and then this was the mouth. It was tough to understand the shape of the model, and usually that's because the depth of the picture is off slightly, so there's just a few missing things there. But look at these great textures and quality in the models. It feels like this bit's let it down, whereas this bit's really cool. So there's some great... And maybe you can use this model for something else, because that's really cool. Just having a look at what people are saying. Oh, we've got an extra one suddenly. I'm afraid that hasn't made it in because I was adding things to to the voting thing, so it won't get voted for, I'm afraid. Maffa was the last one in there. The world tree in Norse mythology. Going to sleep now. At 3 in the morning for me anyway. I'm going to have to zoom into this one. I think this is a bit small on the screen. There we go. Oh, this is quite fun, isn't it? Look at all this detail here. That's nice, isn't it? I love this detail. But I don't know, I feel like it's lost a bit with all this going on. So again, let's have a look at the thumbnail. I'll just minimize that. I'm probably not going to be able to get it back again now, am I? The thumbnail, there's so much going on. Where are our eyes drawn? Over here, down here, and not really in this area here until much later on when we see this beautiful rainbow here and these clouds. I feel maybe we just need this bit as the picture. Maybe. What do other people think? Are there competitions more often? We have once a month, once a month. competitions, and there are also weekly things that JB Blender also does. I believe, anyway. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any recent ones, so maybe he's missed a couple or something. But people obviously get busy. Yes, Norse influence on many of these entries, aren't there? Yeah, it's a very cool piece, this one, isn't it? I feel like the picture just doesn't do it justice. Yeah. Bit of a puzzle, but beautiful. Exactly that. Because, in fact, let's go back to that original. Where's it gone? Can't even see it anymore. There it is. Okay. Can we zoom into this? Yeah, you see, when I'm zoomed in, here, that's a better picture. This screen here, in my opinion. Because, I don't know, our eyes have a focus and, yeah. Any thoughts, everybody else? Yeah, a lot happening in the lower half compared to the upper half. And then you sort of focus, you lose it's not actually a lot happening, it's the brightness, I think, of these things, isn't it? So I think that's what you mean. Jacob K. Also, the moons in the background are far too sharp compared to the blurry clouds. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? So the combination of these two, there's a harshness. They're competing with each other, it feels like. Yep. JB hasn't missed any. Sorry, I mean, my mistake. Maybe I've probably missed them. That's probably me, isn't it? He's doing very well, actually. He's keeping up with those competitions. So the weekly competitions on the Discord, and then these sort of bigger, I suppose, monthly competitions where we do a whole live stream with them. He's mentioning everyone every week. Nice work. Okay, so so we've got a few late comers. What we'll do now, I'll just quickly say about the voting. So in the description of this video, there's a link to where's it gone, actually? I'm gonna have to find the description myself on my other screen. There's a link to the voting. Oh, God, I'm distracted now. I did have this up on the screen, but then I closed it for some reason, sensibly. Where's my video? Because for some reason I don't get to see the description I put in, so I can't see the link. But it'd be good if I posted it in the stream as well, perhaps a couple of times, to help people. But you can always, I'm assuming it's easy to get to, is it? Because I don't see the same thing that you guys see. So let me know that you're all good and that you can see the link. Yep, so vote here, it says. And I'll just put that just in case for some reason you can't see it very easily. Vote here. There we go. I didn't know about the competition till now. Yeah, I mean, it's not a major thing. It's just for fun, so don't feel like you're missing out on major prizes or anything, because there really aren't any prizes except a well done from the team. But join in with the next one. So 2 things for us all to do whilst I'm going through the last couple and just having a chat about these ones. I see. There we are. So Skylar Studio. Sorry, I see what you're. So I'll go through yours though and show it. But yeah, so all vote, and also think about the next competition. What would you like to see in the next competition? I'll have a look in a second. I'll just have a look at what was it, Demeter Zephyr animations. That's a pretty cool one, isn't it? I like what we've done there. I feel it's a bit flat. Again, the background is too bright. It's too close to the colour of the foreground. So we need to contrast to separate the object from the background. That's a minor thing, but quite a cool, fun sort of sculpted object of creature. Nice work. And we'll show yours then, Skylar Studios. What have we got here? Oh, this is fun. Oh, hang on, it is 2 minutes long. It's a long one. A nice lens flare. So this is, I'm assuming, your work that you've already done, but we'll say it anyway. Can we see the results? We will. I thought you could see the results anyway, but we'll see them in a second. Oh, nice work there from Skylar Studios. Good job. So I'm going to skip through it a little bit, so you get a bit of a showing of your work, seeing as you posted it. This looks good fun. If you want to see more, then you can follow the link that's here. But there's lots going on here, isn't there? God, that's a lot of work gone into this. But yes, it does have a sort of mythological look to it. Nice work. Okay, so yep, Skylar Studios links there if you want to have a look. Okay, so we've got technical stuff. It's hard surface. space would be a cool competition, or sci-fi. We have done sci-fi before, but we can always revisit themes if people want to put a different spin on them. Let's go to the competition results as well and see what's going on. How do I... Do you know, have I put the right link up, by the way? Everybody, is that the right link? Please say it's the right link. So I always do something stupid, don't I? Okay, I'm going to vote as well. Who's my favourite? I did like the Minotaur. And there's just some really great ones in here, isn't there? Lots of great work. Possibly my favourite. Let's just have a quick look, scan through. I did like... is it K9 Delta? No, that was Dinka. Sorry. This one as well from Nora, I really liked. I like this one a lot from Bartu. Sorry. I love the camels here. That's really cool. There's some really cool pieces. This one was a really cool sculpt as well. I like the composition of this one. Love this bit of this one as well. I'm going to go for this one, I think. Okay, so has everybody voted? Let's go back to the streaming. Everybody voted. I'll give you 1 more minute on the vote. Coffee but no donuts. Stick with animation just to practice more. I mean, you can make it animated, your whatever the theme is. Mythology could have been an animated thing, so that's no problem having animations in there. New theme, neon lights. That's an interesting one. Thyros TV space stations. Just lots of people saying hard surface. Maybe we need something to go with hard surface, though. I don't know. Oh, there goes the internet. Is it gone? Are we all... I'm still on. It's saying I'm still live, and it hasn't gone for me. So hopefully you're all okay. Shout things out. Shout things out that you want to see for next time, and we'll have a look at the results. How do I see the results on here? Where are the results? There. Oh, submit. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay, so submit another response. Hang on. Oh no, that's no good, is it? Because we don't want someone to be able to vote twice. And how do I see the results? Oh, listen. Just having a look. How do I see my results then? That's interesting. Are other people seeing the results? Oh dear. How do I get there? Because I didn't actually create this, so I'm wondering if the results are getting sent somewhere else. So that's not ideal, is it? How can I see? Maybe I can go up to... Anybody any ideas? Where do I see the results? I don't really know Google Forms very well. You need to log in. I'm logged in already. The entire city is big for a competition. Tokyo would be cool as a thing. That's an interesting idea, because you could have sort of Tokyo, like a neon light could be one aspect. I'm liking that one. Google Form. I'll look on my other screen. So get your votes in. Whilst I'm looking, I thought this was going to be really simple. Just vote, no problem, easy. It's not happening, is it? And now I can't even find the form on here. Oh, this is a disaster again, Grant. Oh, what a joke. Let's just quickly check. This isn't happening, is it? How do I find the results? I mean, it's pretty obvious. There should be a result thing here, shouldn't there? Is this just me being obvious? So I'll just press submit again. But where's... Oh, come on. It's been recorded, but where? Google. Give me a break. Okay, let's... I'm in my Google Drive, and because I didn't create it, I don't think I can see the results. So sorry, Lunar Lotus. It's not worked. Yeah, it's the person who has access to the original. I can't look at the Google form and only... Even though I could edit it and add to it, I couldn't look at the original. Oh, that's no good, is it? I mean, it's going to be a pain to quickly set up a new form, and it's going to take ages, isn't it? So I might, unless Lunar Lotus is around, which I don't think they are. It might be in my email. I'll just check my email, but there's nothing. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. I'm just seeing if these are any... no, these are all... No. Okay. I have to give up on the voting. Okay, just quickly, if you can shout out your favourite and see if I'm on the same lines as you guys, and then I'll probably give it to the person that I've voted for, which is not what I planned, which is a bit of a shame. So just quickly shout out your favourites, and I mean, you can use a Google form to look at them more closely, but it didn't work again. Looks like it's just such a shame. Next time, I think I'll nominate someone who doesn't mind doing the form and they can control everything. So I need a helper who will be watching the competition with me. The first, Minotaur. Frank, definitely not. Dancing Baby. Nora, okay. Nora was the... which one was Nora? I'm trying to remember now. Have I gone past it? Nora, yes, yep, the low poly one, yep, there. Des, sorry, I don't know them by their names. Des, which one is Des? No one's actually said, Troll was awesome. Des the Minotaur, okay, so lots of people saying Des. Oh, of course, yeah, that was a really cool one, actually. I liked it too. Yeah, Akinaro, Alejandro Bosch. Couldn't remember which one that is. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's Akinaro. Just seeing what other people are saying. Werewolf one. The Werewolf one from Dropbeat was good. Yep, so there's quite a mixture here. A few for Nora. And I think there's lots, isn't there? Just having a look at what people are saying. That's cool. I would like there to be more audience interaction with these things, but I've messed it up again. Felix, yeah. Okay, I'm going to just decide, and I think there's such a mixture of opinion on this one. I am going to go for the troll one. Where's it gone? I did really like the one from Dinka as well. I was close to going for that. And there's loads of really great ones. I've gone past it already, haven't I? To go back to the top. And where has it gone? Where has it gone? It's just deleted. That's weird. Where has it gone? There we go. So I'm going to go for Akinaro. Okay. I do apologise. But hopefully in future these things are going to work. What happened to democracy, tyrant? Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you very much, Hobbit28, for saying my tutorials are great. So I'm just a look at the dates quickly. What are the dates? So next month we have... So maybe I shouldn't do them on Monday, so I shouldn't overlap with Blender Today and do them on a Tuesday. So the deadline's going to be the 23rd, so we'll do a stream on the 24th. I think that would be better. That's my plan for next time, so I'll try and remember that I've said that. But what are we going to go for as the... I'll show you the winner on full screen. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Let's go this way, full screen, and zoom in a bit. Look at that. It's quite cool, isn't it? I mean, the hair is a little bit off in places, but I think I like the composition in the scene and the lighting and the fact that it works as a thumbnail. I think that's really cool. Anyway, is Blender hard for ArcViz? It's quite tough. Blender Guru, I would say, is the best person for talking about sort of ArcViz type stuff. Product design, that's an interesting one. Maybe we should go that direction. Product design. What do other people think about that? I mean, it's not as fun maybe as other things, but it's an interesting direction to go in. To join the competition, go onto the Discord server and you'll see the competition channel on there, and you can post your work to that. Got to get back to coursework, unfortunately. Good stuff, Bradley. Rain City Neons. Oh, that's quite interesting. I'm tempted to go for that. Yeah, it was based on Troll Hunter, this one. Damn Joe. Felix, your work was great, by the way. Post-apocalyptic is a great idea. Yes, that's not... I think a few people are sort of saying this Tokyo Neon and this sort of Neon City. So perhaps we can go in that sort of direction. I think... so how can we put the title? Because I think I'm going to go for that. But so it's going to be sort of the neon, rain and city. So, but what's the title going to be? Because maybe Tokyo Neon is the best thing we can do, because then you could even have like a vending machine, couldn't you? Because that can be a piece in a scene like that. Neon City is a good title, isn't it? What do other people think about the title? Because I think that's a great idea, of Tokyo, neon, and that sort of idea. So what do people think? I mean, Cyberpunk, Blade Runner, it's all coming out. People are saying Blade Runner, Cyberpunk. So shall we go for that? I mean, that's a cool theme, isn't it? Let's inspire ourselves slightly. Cyberpunk. I mean, we got the release of that game soon, haven't we? From who are they called? Let's inspire ourselves with some of these. Let's go Tokyo Neon, like that. And that's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it's very tough to produce something like this, but in terms of ideas, just a neon sign, or just simple things like this can work. Simpler scenes that are like this, but it just looks so cool, doesn't it? Simple things like this as well. Have a look into that. Well, I think CD Projekt Red, that's the one, isn't it? So we're going to go with because lots of people are saying Blade Runner and Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk City. Tokyo Neon. Yeah. Let's just have a quick look at what other people are saying. Okay, I'll do that. Who's Side Mead concept art? Or Sid Mead, is it? Sid Mead concept art. Yeah, that's so cool, isn't it? Just so cool. It's brilliant. Yeah, composition, because it's been a big theme today, composition and lighting, and can we go for it even more? I mean, look at this one, flipping out, that's brilliant, isn't it? Loving it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going Neo Tokyo. I don't quite know what to call it. I think I'm going to keep it simple, but Cyberpunk City, no, should we just say Blade Runner, I suppose? Blade Runner. I feel like that might be a bit limiting. Can we not limit it to city? Yeah, because city can be very tough, can't it? So maybe just cyberpunk. I don't know. I still haven't heard a good title. Shall we just go Neon City? I mean, that's a good idea, Mike Evans, Project 2049, because then it gives it a looseness, doesn't it? But I'll put in sort of brackets Neon City with that. Okay, so we'll do that. So I'll just I'll finalize that on the Discord server. So what are we saying? We said Project 2049. What did I say? Neon City. I need to write that down somewhere. I'll get on the Discord server and write it in now. Otherwise I'll forget, and then we'll forget what we said. So where is the competition announcements? What did we say again? Did I say Tokyo City, or what did I say? Oh no, Project 2049, wasn't it? Is that right? Is that sounding weird? 2049, and then brackets Neon City. It's a bit of a weird title, but I think that's the best way I can put it, really. Am I making sense? Or just Tokyo Neon? Are people preferring that? Would you prefer this or Tokyo Neon? Say quickly say, or who knows? Cyber Neo. I think let's create 3 category idea and winner to choice in this category. That's not a bad idea. We'll do that next time, I think. I just want to sort of get this one through so people know. Vaporwave. I'm just going to go for that. Tokyo Neon, Neon Punk. Title is fine. Cool. Excellent. Okay, so that is the competition winner. Well done. I've lost the competition entry. Where was it? There we go. Well done to who was it? Ekanara, wasn't it? For their piece there. I just thought the composition was really great. So that's really cool. It is, Tokyo because people are saying about the title of the theme. Tokyo is limiting on one city. Yikes! But it doesn't have to, because it's a future Tokyo, so it could look all over the place, couldn't it? What does he get to win? He gets well done from all of us. So can we all have clap emojis on here, please? And Akanari, well done. Congratulations to you. Good job. I still haven't really had time to sort out prizes or anything like that. It's quite a hard thing to set up. I probably need a helper who can go around just contacting people and saying, we do a live stream, can we have some prizes, and we can do some advertising for them. There we go. Look, getting lots of clap emojis there. Look at that. Love it. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there. Thank you very much to all those that have joined in, up to like 200 viewers. That's cool. I hope you've enjoyed it. Trying to be a bit quicker this time, but it's still an hour and a half, isn't it? It's tough. Go across to Blender today now and have a look at what they're up to. I'm probably going to do that myself. Look at all those claps. It's quite cool, actually. Excellent job. I love this. I love the community. Can we have some clap emojis? They were just streaming around there. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so once again, thank you all for watching. I do enjoy doing these live streams. It is great fun. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time for the next competition. My next live stream will be this Friday, and I'll probably be continuing that character. It's going very slowly because I'm talking a lot and trying to teach at the same time, but we'll see how we go with that. And see whether people are happy with it. I might do one before them because I'm doing some texture painting for Atlas Empire still, so there may be another one before those. So, but generally speaking, it was going to be between 4 and 6 p.m. GMT. There we go. Anyway, good to see you all. I had lots of fun as usual. I hope you did, and I will